سلامتی وجود مقدس حضرت صاحب الزمان صلوات عنایت بفرمایید. محمد آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولله ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء قدير. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب. الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. سلام علیکم و رحمت الله. انشالله برای برنامه بعدی خدمت سخنرانی خانم دکتر دژمان استفاده می‌کنیم با ذکر صلوات بر محمد و آل محمد.
یک توصیف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم و به نستعین انه خیر ناصر و معین. الحمد لله رب العالمین و الصلاة و السلام علی سیدنا محمد و آله الطاهرین. رب اشرح لی صدری و یسر لی امری واحلل عقدة من لسانی یفقهوا قولی. Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Tonight's talk is a continuation of my previous presentation regarding to how the self-knowledge of ourselves or self-knowledge can lead us to knowledge of God. I tried to just today's presentation, try to bridge between the modern medicine and clinical neuroscience, that is my academic background, with the actually nuance and wisdom of the Quran or Islam, and tried and to offer a kind of the practical tools to not only the list of the do's and don'ts, so then what we're teaching or what we're learning help us to just actually implement in our daily life. To start my presentation, I just want to... Okay. So I want to start with a main question about that, about ourselves. the main question is that what's the reason that we appears in this world? What is our responsibility? Have we been being born to just studying, working, getting married, have children, and so get promoted, have a pleasure time, and then just dying? Is this exactly the reason that we are here? Wanted to also share the verses of Quran saying that Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Usually we use these verses of Quran in the time that we lost a person. But I think that we always need to, memorize it and repeat it. We came from him and come back and return to him. So there is a journey for us in this world. And definitely there is a deep mission and also a deep meaning of our life. So we need to know that what exactly we are. Would you please get the next slide? And definitely there is a deep meaning of for our life in this world. So consider this maybe in you have invited to a grand party, but you get lost during this, the shopping, marketing, and playing, and you totally forget your destination. Actually, it's a kind of our daily life. We have a destination. We have been informed you're going to get back to God and Allah. But what it looks like that in the noise of the daily life, we are distracted with the daily life. We totally forget that's what we are and what we're going to do and what we're going to go. Think about that. If tonight I went to sleep and tomorrow I did not wake up. So what have I achieved for God? And even for myself, did I truly understand the meaning of life, or did I recognize my mission? As I said, most of us usually become distracted, the noisy of daily life, that we forgot that who we truly are and why we came here and why we are headed. Allah reminds us that in the Quran, أَفَحَسَبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Did you think that we created you in vain, that to us you would not be returned? And in the other verses say that وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاءَ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا بَاطِلًا. We did not create the heavens and earth and all of the betweens without purpose. So we created for a divine vision and mission. As Sa'di says, از کجا آمدم بهر چه بود به کجا می روم آخر ننمایی وطنم. Where have I come from? Where was I created? Where will I go at the end? And why is my homeland and not shown to me? So think about that. Again, we have a mission and responsibility. Definitely we have to have a goal and find it. But how? It is as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man arafa nafsa faqad arafa rabbah." If whoever knows himself, know his Lord. But what is this self? It is our body, but our body is a cage. You have heard about a lot of people that return from coma. The first thing that they're saying that they saw their body somewhere and they washed this that's from somewhere else. So the body is not our true self. It is our experiences, our thought, our mind, emotions, our true self. So actually true self is a kind of the inner soul. It's the spirit that travels with us beyond this world. So it is different from what we see in our body. It's this we have now. and we need to find it, but not only to find finding, because there is a connection with a true self, with God, because we came, Quran says that we have a part of the Ruh Allah. So the Allah, inserted some kind of his Ruh in our us. So it is a something in our us that's connected us with Allah. So to find this self, Quran teaches us that in order to get it, you must purify your heart. So it's saying that for the day of judgment, nothing will benefit us except a pure heart. Yawmullah, it means that that's no children and no your income or your money don't help you. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهُ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. So it means that who comes to Allah with a pure heart will be succeeded. And also even Prophet Ibrahim says that it came to Lord with the Lord with this qalb salim, the du'a rabbahu biqalbin salim. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam saying that al-qalb haramullah fala tuskan fi haramillah ghayrallah. The heart is a sanctuary of Allah. It is a precious place for God. Do not allow anything other than Allah to dwell in it. So it means that heart is a sacred place, a sanctuary. It's like that we have a Kaaba inside of us. Ibrahim built a Kaaba as a house to worship. And we should have this kind of Kaaba inside of us to build this sanctuary of heart for Allah. Why? Because Allah himself reminds us, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ. Now that Allah comes between you and your heart. So that is a heart, is really a sacred place. This is a place that Allah usually goes and comes. But why we cannot perceive it? What cannot feel it? There is something missing here. It means that the God is closer to us than we are to ourselves. If I say in the other words, actually, we came to this world to recognize ourselves, evolve and also rise through the stages. And then when you go to these different stages, then we can really touch our hearts and so understand ourselves. And all of us every person have it as a sacred place inside of us. So why are saying that? So if I wanted to connect with make a connection from the beginning of my presentation, is that we have a mission, we have a responsibility in this world. In order to realize this responsibility, we need to know ourselves. In order to know ourselves, there is a correlation with the true true self, with our heart. If we purify our heart, is it possible that through that we understand, have a knowledge for ourselves and also Allah? So heart is not only a physical organ, it is a deep depths of human existence and a center of perception, understanding, and true awareness. If the heart is pure, we get a real insights. When I'm saying that the real insight it means that you get this information that is not outsider. You cannot achieve it. You get from shuhud. You get awareness from somewhere else, such as our messengers, Prophet Muhammad and our Imam got this one. They are at the highest level of this evolve of themselves. But if the heart is corrupted, even with the eyes and ears open, you cannot hear or we cannot see. So of course we can, as a physically we can hear, we can see things, but actually we cannot perceive those. We cannot have a connection. As I said, our heart is a secret of God, but Allah, but what you cannot perceive it because there is a cutoff of the between us and with the Allah. It is has been darkened. So we should do something. We should reach that kind of the qalb salim. The poets, there is a poet that says خودی تعمیر کن در پیکر خیش چو ابراهیم معمار حرم شو. As the rebuild your inner self. As Ibrahim created or built the Kaaba outsider, you need also build the kind of the Kaaba inside of you. It means that you need to connect with your inner self, in your deeper, in your heart and in yourself. And in order to do that, you need to have a kind of become mahram with yourself. What does it mean, mahram? When you become a mahram with somebody, it means that you are close to that person. You share a lot of secrets, share a lot of, thought. You're very close. So it means that in order to get mahram with yourself, you need to get the trustworthy. You need to pure and truthful with yourself. And you need to find a time for solitude. It's not loneliness. It's a time that you think, have a pause and think about that more important things, not only for your daily life, not only for future of your children, about yourself, your specific mission, your specific reason of the being in this world. So actually, with this kind of the solitude, it's intimacy with God. It's a time. What does it mean? It means that it's a pause. It's time that you pause and stop, block sometimes with yourself, and think about that. Who am I? What am I doing? And where am I going? This is the kind of the beginning of purifying our heart. So let's go this. We're going to discuss about that. We're supposed to discuss about that, how we can reach the kind of qalb salim. If we consider that heart as a sacred garden inside of us, it means that we need to carefully pay attention what enters it. If we allow some poison or waste inside, definitely the flowers or beauty inside of it is going to die. But if we protect it from the and also feed it with the goodness, definitely it's going to be a place of peace. And when their hearts become calm, it is a peace, your mind also become peace. And it is a time that then you become, the whole body become calm, then you can get the connection with what exactly with the God. And it's a similar, if the garden that is an offense to just keep out animals from the heart, we need to protect our heart from harmful things such as words, bad thought, or negative influence. So there is a hadith that and some people ask Imam Ali alayhi salam, so how you came to this position, how you become Imam Ali? And his response that kuntu bawwaban ala bab qalbi, I was the gatekeeper at the door of my heart. So he was the try. This means that constantly he guarded what entered his heart. So thought, image, word, intention. We do have the same. Consider their heart. We receive a lot of data in other sides. So there's several gates in that you receive the data from your eyes, from your ears, from your mind, even though from your mouth. Those are entries to your heart. In order to be a gatekeeper and purify it, so you need to pay attention what exactly you enters in your heart. And it's a similar that's if you plant seed but you don't protect them, so weeds definitely grows and take over. And if you don't water it, the plant going to be destroyed. So we need to constantly care good thoughts and also care of what we are usually bring and enters in our body and our hearts. Purifying our hearts that's reached the qalb salim is like polishing a mirror. Step by step, then it becomes clear and pure. It's similar to our heart. Consider there's the gold inside of us. That is actually, as Allah mentioned, that's the yahulu bayn al-mar'i wa qalbihi. It's a secret of God, the sanctuary. So there's a gold in here, but because it's a garbage around it and there's a poison around it, it's not shining. It is dark. But when you are starting to clear that, polish that, then you see that the lights that goes outside it. And so then that lights also give you kind of the wisdom, give you awareness about that, about yourself and about the other selves. And it sounds that you get the healthy heart. And definitely with goodness and love flow comes to your hearts become peaceful. But I wanted to get back to what the Imam Ali mentioned, that I was the gatekeeper at the door of my heart. We said that the gates of hearts is all of our system that perceive or gathering data outside, so that it is an ear. So we need to practice kind of the practice to be silent, to silence our eye, silence our ear, silence our mind, and silence and mouth. Everything that you get the information from outside our outers. How? When we're talking about the silence to make it need to silence this organization, it means that it comes from somt. It means that we need to say law to a lot of things that shouldn't be we receive from this organ. It's as Islam is starting from la ilaha illallah. It's a similar things that we should say no with what we should not see. We should say no what we should not hear, not we should eat, not we should speak. So for that reason, we need the silence of I. What does it mean? When we say that we need to silence our I, it means that no looking with envy, no judgment, or no, you need to look the beauty of the people, the best of the people. Don't focus on the flaws of the people. So it means that we need to stop to entering some kind of the malicious things from our eyes. We can discuss it about that when I elaborate more about that, when I talk about our mind. So again, silence of eye, it means that looking people without judgment, without labeling them. It is similar to silence of ears. It means that no listen to gossip, no or poison. I wanted to elaborate gossip here because it's very important, as you know, that usually for Quran, you know that the person that listens to gossip is or ghibah, is the partner with the sin, with the person talking about that. We have, that heard here, even though in the Islamic centers here, sometimes people coming and try to vent or share their thought about some other people with the other person. But the person that's starting to hear that, well, I want to sympathize with that person. But we need to stop that. It is ghibah. You need to stop listening to kind of the poison words. We need to instruct that person, if you need to have a courage to talk to that information to person that you're talking in the behind. Otherwise, we're going to be a partner in this sin. From the Quran aspects, when that actually the kind of the gossip affects both person who speaks and the one who listens. The first thing is that it damages your spiritual status and also your relationship with other and your relationship with God. And the most important things, you are starting to dark your heart. You, instead of extend your heart, you darken your heart. And from the psychology, positive psychology aspects also is destroy the social trust. You can destroy the relationship with the people. And we see here sometimes that in the word of the complaining, in word of they wanted to share something, but we are starting to say gossip about the other person. And instead, eventually, it's caused a problem, mental health for you, mental health for others that are around us, and create a negative environment or it's a bad intention. So when we're talking about silence of ear, so it means that don't listen to gossip. If you listen to people, don't judge it. Don't have a prejudgment. Openly listen to what they're saying. From neuroscience aspect, I could say that all of us have a kind of the filtering when we're listening to somebody, even though when you're listening to my lecture now. Based on that, what we have received from childhood, the information we received from our childhood, our parents in the school, from our religion, culture, all of them memorized is in our brain. We have a memory of all of them, and all of them created the belief for us. And the issue is that we receive all data from outside, but these beliefs filter those. Is a kind of the glasses that filter some information. You only receive information that is a match with your that belief. And it's because that you don't rethink and always goes to what you have already, our parents or people before us taught us. So it's the stop our rethinking. So for that reason, we need, when we listen with some things, should have a kind of the empty mind. We need actively listen to what we are hearing to be able to capture it and then analyze it. And so if we wanted to then decide that we wanted to, use it or not, but don't be prejudgments for what you're hearing. About the silence of tongue or a silence of Zaban is talking about how you speak. So don't spread a lie or hurt other people. Don't critics the others. Don't have critics in front of the others. Be careful about what you're saying, what you speak, how do you speak. Don't have a reaction, quick reaction or emotional reaction with what you're hearing. Think before speaking. This is the silence of tongue. When we're talking about silence of mouth, you tell me, what does it mean? I don't want to check that who listened to me. What is the silence of mouth? Mouth. What are you eating? Saying is a part of that's speaking, is a tongue. Exactly, yes. You make a good point, but yeah, the most important is that, as I said, don't have a quick reaction. It's now is calling as intelligence, emotional intelligence. That is very important. Control your emotion when you're listening and you're speaking with others. But for silence of mouth, it's what you're entering your body, is how you eat. So we need to eat the pure and halal things. So we need to be careful what exactly we're eating or Is it come from the halal money? Is it come to the halal, materials? And also it is pure and it's clean. And finally, silence of mind. That is very important, actually. When you're talking about the mind, it's this, you know that 75% of thought is unconscious. And even though now is somebody in your mind, in your brain, talking to you, saying that do this, don't do that, listen to this, listen, don't do that. If you just observe your thought, there's something inside of it. So it is unconscious. It's a similar that you see that some people that speak with themselves loudly usually have a mental health disorder. So it is a similar, it's happened to us unconsciously. All the time, somebody in our mind talking to us. Even though in the driving, and you see that you're studying and doing something and unconsciously maybe go to the fridge and open the door, going somewhere, or even though you see that you react very angry with somebody that doesn't matter. It means that daily life, we have a 70,000 thoughts, that 75% of us are unconscious. So it is a reason, actually, because we have our brain have a limited energy and wanted to save the energy. So go, and for that reason, make this kind of the thought or behavior to autopilot. So you're doing something unconsciously. You're thinking something unconsciously, and unconsciously, because of something in your mind saying you to do something, so you're doing it without knowing that. And it's happened that even so in praying, you see that how often do we think about that shopping, working, arguing with people. When you're driving, you see that you arrived to your destination, but you didn't realize because your mind was somewhere else, arguing with somebody or talking about the future. Maybe now when you're listening to me, at the same time, you think that, oh, it's a long lecture, we should go and have lunch, dinner now, what we should do for tomorrow. These are inside of you. All the time, they're talking to you. So we need to, if they don't control them, they control you. They push you, urge you to do something without you knowing that. For that reason, we need to observe our mind, observe our thought. And you see that somebody, maybe you text somebody and that don't respond to you, and you starting to negative thinking and starting to overthinking, rumination. And it's caused that in the praying, you cannot concentrate. And you see that all the time, we cannot concentrate on praying. So because it's a thought, and so if you don't silence it, then you're going to be occupied with all of your thoughts, and they don't have an energy to think about that they're main items that are responsibility in the world and our mission. And you cannot find a connection, a quick connection with the God and be creative about that. So how we can, I just want to focus most only on the controlling our mind, how we can do it. The literature says that usually it's better you, as I said, consider the block of time in your daily life, 5 minutes only, find the silent place and just observe those thoughts. And the better way is writing down that thought you have. And believe me, when you're writing down your thoughts, maybe after several days, when you're reading your thought, sometimes maybe you feel that there's a monster inside of you. The way we have thought about the other people, the way we judge about the other people unconsciously. But when you write it down, it's clear for you, you understand. So in order to silence your mind, you need to then control them with the writing down. The other items for the to silence your mind is that don't judge people. It's similar to don't look people with the previous, that prejudge. It's similar. Don't have a judge people. Don't label them. And the last thing is a comparison. Don't compare yourself with others. The first person that had a great sin was Shaitan. compare himself with the Adam, human. Said, I'm from fire, you are from clay. So always we need to compare ourselves with our previous, ourselves with the, ours with ourselves. What does it mean? Because when you compare yourself with the other person, usually you see that the distance between you and that person. And you wanted to feel that's this distance. So you wanted to reach to that person. And in the cause that you destroy that because you see that's why I don't have this benefit, why I'm not similar to that person. And it causes envy inside of you. So, and finally, it's cause that you feel that you are not good enough. So you get the self-love, self-confidence. So these are that if you wanted to silence your mind, you need to think about that, all of these items. So far, I just wanted to just memorize what we talk. So we talk about that. We have a true self, and we need to know him. And when we know ourselves, that is then we are able to know our God or Allah. How we can go to reach this level? We need to purify our heart. How? We need to protect the entries of our hearts. How it's happened? We need to silence a different part of our entries or gates of our hearts. That was eyes, ears, mouth, and also this mind that was important. There is a hadith as Imam Ali alayhi salam saying that دعوك منك ولا تبصر دواؤك فيك ولا تشعر. Saying that the sickness is in you, but the cure also is for you, but you don't feel it. What does it mean? It means that if you be I just wanted to compare the menk and fik. Menk is a superficial or ours or Hawaii nafsani or shahwa. And fik is the inner ourself, that is goes the qalb salim or inner heart or inner ourself. It's saying that if you go only with the surface of yourself with those shahawat, it's cause you become anger, become envy, become feel deficiency. But if you starting to go deeper inside of you, then it's gonna to you get deeper, and so you can feel that the silence, and so desire, and so you can get better of the connection with God. How? So our inner self need to control our outer self. How it's happened? It is just kind of try to give you some kind of the practical way to elaborate it. So it's usually in order to control that's the low level or surface of our ourselves, we need to have a pause, stop. Usually in our daily life, we have kind of the stop. When you have challenges, when we become sickness, become sick, or in the Ramadan, in the muraqabah that maybe for 40 days we do it. So these are kind of the pause and stop. But it's not enough. When you stop, you need to be silent, find the solitude with yourself, find the khalwat with yourself, and think about that. So this should be it's kind of the part of our daily life. Find that a time that be alone with yourself. Usually we scared that sometimes we 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we are alone with ourselves, we get scared. What I should do? Who is that? What you should think? But it's a time that you think deeply about yourself, what your life goals, what is your responsibility. Usually if our work or any project that we do have work, we have a long time, that's timeline, goal, and short goals or short-term goals. But why we don't have in our life? Do you know that what you're going to become in the next 5 years? In the regard as when you reach to the time of the going to other worlds arrives. Do you know that what you wanted to achieve when you meet the God? Have we any plan for that? These are kind of the thoughts, is a time that in our khalwat, we need to think about that. You see that we have this kind of the pause. We have a lot of Ramadan, Muharram. We are coming here. Every week we're coming here. We change. Part of our behavior changed. Have you think about that? Have you thought about that? It's a Ramadan, it's a 1 month. And so in Sahar, we wake up and so have a connection with God. But why after Ramadan, everybody are the same? Or even though after Muharram, you see, after Roseh, when you go out, you see that, I see that several times asking for volunteer, nobody, raise their hand. What's happening? There's something missing. So we are here, we are doing something, but we don't thinking about that. We don't think about that actual our mission and behavior and what we should do, become in the future. So we are here to have a connection with ourselves and God. But why, when we go downstairs, everybody just sit there and so expect that some limited people just clean their in front of them their table and wash their the dishes. What's going on here? It means that we just here to just praying something, but we don't deeply thinking about ourselves, about our responsibility, about ourselves, for others, and also for Allah. So I don't want to take your time more because I know this evidence shows that the brain can't focus and so concentrate only 20 minutes, specifically for this kind of the one-way communication. And I'm sorry you take your time. I think that more than 45, but I wanted to wrap up my presentation with that one. That's definitely, this path is not easy. So, and every small step matters actually. And every act of silence, every moment or our self-impulse, all of the victors of are us. So take a step, small steps, and وَلَا تَحِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Think in this way, but start today. Spend that block sometimes for ourselves to think about these important questions, and also be mahram to ourselves and see that what is our pitfall, which behavior we need to change. What is your goals in the next year? If you wanted to evaluate yourself, what you need to change it. حاسبوا قبل أن تحاسبوا. Create the goals, evaluate it every day, have a silence, and so based on evaluation, change yourself and find a way to growth and so inside of you. I hope that I were able to elaborate about this journey and give the kind of the practical step. But if there's any question, I thought that it's better I summarize it in Farsi, but I don't think that is needed. But if you have any questions about that, what we discussed today, I'm happy to hear, and so if I'm able to answer it. This is a kind of silence that usually scares you. It means that there's two reasons: nobody listened to you, or it's more complicated that maybe you couldn't actually present it that the people could capture it, digest it. Okay, thank you for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
خیلی تشکر میکنم خانم دکتر دژمان. انشالله برنامه رو به اتمام میرسونیم و برای صرف شام با ذکر صلوات بر محمد و آل محمد.